One word has the power to shape a career, and in Jenny's case, that word was lazy. Billboard might have thought it was just another segment, another harmless hot take in the endless churn of music commentary, but what followed revealed more about the mechanics of fame and fandom than any glossy magazine profile ever could. The problem wasn't simply the word, it was what it implied. Lazy in the world of K-pop isn't a shrugging critique. It's an accusation of betrayal. It suggests the idol no longer respects the stage, the fans, or the dream that millions of people buy into every time they purchase an album, stream a video, or buy a ticket. And that's why when Jenny's name was tied to that insult, the internet detonated. Within minutes, social media was in full meltdown. Hashtags trended, fan cams circulated like court evidence, and fans unearthed every performance across Jenny's career to prove the accusation absurd. Old rehearsal footage resurfaced, award show clips went viral, and her Coachella stages were held up as proof that calling Jenny lazy was nothing short of slander. But the outrage didn't stop there. It expanded, mutated, and eventually devoured anyone who had even touched the Billboard piece. A host found herself bombarded with hate, even though she hadn't chosen the edit that sparked the storm. Writers received threats, even random commenters who simply agreed with the word choice found themselves under attack. The fight wasn't just about Jenny anymore. It was about dignity, loyalty, and what happens when an idol's reputation collides with the internet's hunger for conflict. The irony is that the moment Billboard chose wasn't even extraordinary. Jenny paused mid-performance, adjusted her mic, and rejoined the choreography. A blip in a career defined by relentless precision. But those few seconds were enough. Screenshots spread faster than context ever could. Stripped of nuance, the clip fed the growing narrative that, in group performances, Jenny sometimes seemed disengaged. Fans and critics alike lined up to debate whether she was pulling her weight alongside Lisa, Jisoo, and Rosé. And that contrast, between a Jenny who sometimes seemed dialed back in group numbers and a Jenny who roared with energy on solo stages, became the crux of the argument. Theories spread as fast as the memes. Some fans argued she was conserving her energy, pacing herself through grueling schedules and endless tours. Others pointed to past injuries that could explain why she occasionally softened her moves. A more cynical corner of the internet suggested it was all part of a deliberate tactic. Rage baiting, leaning into criticism because the controversy kept her name alive. None of these explanations trended nearly as fast as the word lazy. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram all prefer sharp edges to soft explanations. And she's lazy was sharper than any rational defense. Jenny herself eventually broke the silence, but not with anger. She spoke about learning how to care for her health, how early in her career she didn't know how to protect her body, how high heels and sleepless rehearsals had cost her stamina. It wasn't a defensive rant, it was a human confession. She admitted that fame had taught her the hard way that you can't burn at maximum brightness forever. And in her words, some fans finally found the nuance that the internet had erased. Still, the meme lived on. TikTok ran with it, twisting her pauses into comedic sketches and daily life reaction content. Clips of Jenny became shorthand for exhaustion, apathy, or the Friday 5 p.m. slump. Strangers who didn't even know her music learned her face through the language of mockery. For some, it was harmless fun. For others, it was cyberbullying disguised as humor. Either way, once a meme reaches that level, it becomes nearly impossible to bury. What makes this story sting is its double-edged irony. Jenny's solo performances, the ones where she gives everything, razor-sharp choreography, magnetic charisma, perfect control, still go viral. People rave about her power, her presence, her star quality, and yet simultaneously the lazy narrative continues to shadow her. It's as if she's living two parallel reputations, Jenny the meme and Jenny the icon. The internet has managed to split her into two timelines, forcing her fans and her detractors to battle endlessly over which one is real. Maybe that's the real lesson here. In the digital age, a single word can be more powerful than an entire career's worth of work. A few seconds of footage can outweigh years of sacrifice, and an idol as globally beloved as Jennie can still be flattened into a caricature by strangers who never cared about the music in the first place. For Billboard, it was just another video segment. For Jennie, it became another chapter in the exhausting cycle of proving her worth to people determined to misunderstand her. And yet, in the end, the so-called lazy idol keeps winning. She still walks the runways of Paris, headlines festivals, and signs endorsement deals that most celebrities would kill for. The storm rages online, but Jennie continues on stage, unfazed and unstoppable. Because if one word can define her to some, her work will always redefine her to everyone else.